Ohai. Xiamen, the city of sub-provincial value in the province of Fujian, People's Republic of China. The largest port of the province on the coast of the Taiwan Strait. Also Zhengbu is located on islands and the adjacent coast of the continent between Quanzhou to the north, to the south. The map of Xiamen of 1946, when the city occupied only a southwest corner of the island Xiamen and the neighboring island of Gulingyu. The historic center of the city is located in the southwest part of the island Xiamen, to the south from the Lake Yundangs, which in the past was wide estuary the Yundangs rivers. The island Xiamen is connected to the continent 4 bridges. In the west of Haikon, abuse the areas of Haikons 3. Xiamen Silin, Transoceanic Jimmy Bridge. In the north connect regions of Jimmy and Waidifak. And 1 tunnel. Xiamen in the northeast between regions of Xiamen and Waidifak. On the island of Gulingyu to the southwest from the island Xiamen there were foreign consulates, houses of foreign merchants, etc. Now it is historical memorial estate. The narrow passage between island Xiamen and Gulingyu was also called actually Xiamen Harbor. All these territories are included into the region of Siminao. Today the most part of the island Xiamen is urbanized, with beaches along the southern coast, the island and port constructions along the west bank. Turn to the Xiamen harbor in modern, broad understanding. The main campus of the Xiamen University also is on the southern coast of the island. Four districts of Xiamen being on the continent now, 2 in Haigir are urbanized. Haikonghu is on the west bank of the Xiamen harbor, the industrial and port region. Near Jimmy there is Atsumeski University and the Tortoise Park, a memorial complex in honor of the known Huaxia, the national educator Chan Zhijina, where he also is buried by in a traditional tortoise graven. At the time of the Empire of Jin in 282, the county of Tongan, which was attached to the county of Jin and subsequently was in these parts founded. At the time of the Empire of Sui, the county of Jinan in 589 was renamed into Nainan. During an era of 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms in 903, when these places were in the structure of the state, the southern Tang, the southwest part of the county of Nainan was allocated to the certain county of Tongan again. At the time of the Mongolian Empire of Yuan, the wonderful harbor which is available here served as a shelter for local pirates. At the time of the Empire of Min in 1387, here for fight against pirates, the Xiamen strengthening from which and the name Xiamen went was built. In 1394 the central and left security, thousands of Yuninsky guard were placed here. Up to the 15th century active business was done India, Arabia and the Western Asia from here. A mall was one of the greatest shopping centers of the world. In 1516 here the Portuguese vessels for the first time appeared. After them, in 1575 the Spaniards interested in trade in silk, which was transported at first to Manila and then to Mexico came. In 1604 the squadron of Dutches moored to the island. However, their attempts to improve relations with local merchants weren't crowned with success. During Manchurian conquest of China in the middle of 17th century, the island Xiamen for several years passed to the Chinese patriotic pirate Zheng Chengbanga. Xiamen became its base for conquest of Taiwan in 1661-1662, where he soon also transferred the base. Zheng Chenggong announced these places the Ximinski region. However, after transition of these spaces for the power of the Empire of King, the Ximinski region in 1680 was liquidated, and these places received the name Xiamen again. The first English merchant ship appeared on the bank of the island in 1670, and through some time British managed to develop rough commercial activity here. The British East Indian Company opened factories and created a large trading station. But in 1730 the Beijing government, dissatisfied with the impact and willfulness of British, issued the decree according to which to all ships, except the Spanish, it was forbidden to trade in this port. Trade with Europe was resumed right after the First Opium War, unsuccessful for the Median Empire. The city was occupied by the British squadron under command of Sir Hugh Gough and the Admiral Parker on August 27, 1841. In 1843 the port was opened for trade of all nations. On islands foreigners began to lodge in the bay. See Kuling. On the island of Kalongsu, the exterritorial settlement, the Amoy settlement, was created. Protestant missionaries became the first settlers who arrived in Amoy. Priests, representatives of the American Reformed Church, Netherlands Reformed Church, American Episcopal Church, London Missionary Community, American Presbyterian and English Presbyterian churches began to arrive to the island since 1842. They held a specific place in the course of formation of a settlement. Their efforts founded networks of Tech Chinka and Hope and Wilhelmina hospitals. Schools for the Chinese children are created. Except Institute de Tang Tri Wang and the Anglo-Chinese College, sponsored by both the Chinese and foreign businessmen on the island of Kalongsu, the universities of three largest Protestant missions and the joint high school were located. In 1863 the English chapel, where the service in English was held every Saturday, was built. It was the largest English missionary church, capacity close to 1,000 people. Except Protestant missions, on the island I settled down Roman Catholic, being under the care of the Spanish Church. By 1908 in Amoy there were already about 100 missionary communities. Initially all commercial enterprises were built not on the island of Kalongsu, and ashore from the city. Nevertheless, many businessmen preferred to locate the private residences on the island in view of his natural security from typhoons. Also in his southern part, on the rock, the building of the British consulate was built. On peer consulates of Germany, the USA, France and Japan, several post offices, 2 large clubs with library and reading rooms, 2 hotels and drugstore were located. To Kalongsu there was also the largest sports base where tennis, cricket, hockey fields and other were located. Its outskirts of the island were completed by the alarm station, which notified on arrival of the ships in port and approach of typhoons or storm. The most part of the population of the island of Kalongsu was made by Chinese. Around a settlement 3 Chinese villages with the population in 4,000 people were located. Throughout all the 19th century the Xiamen port remained the most important for trade in tea. Thereof the local dialect became a source of many words which got into the European languages, e.g. ketchup. Besides, Xiamen served as the base for settling and colonization of Taiwan, where the Xiamen tea dealers landed large tea plantations. In 1900, during the Revolta Quechua, Amao was temporarily occupied by Japanese. After the Tsinghusky Revolution, the Xiamen port and adjacent islands in 1912 were allocated with the new Republican authorities from the county of Tongan to the certain county of Xiamen. In 1915, islands were allocated to the certain county of Jinmen. In April 1935, Xiamen City was officially created, and the rest of the county of Xiamen became the special area of Hessian. In the years of war with Japan, Xiamen was occupied by the Japanese troops. In 1945, the island of Goulignou became the certain region of Goulignou. And on the island of Xiamen opposite to him, the western area was formed. In 1948, the western area was renamed into the region of Xiamen. During civil war, the county of Tongan and the city of Xiamen were engaged by troops of communists only at its final stage, fall of 1949. In 1950, the special region of Gwangju was created, and the county of Tongan was its part, and Xiamen became the city of provincial submission. The northern part of the island of Xiamen became the region of Hessian. In 1953, from structure of the county of Tongan under Xiamen's jurisdiction, the settlement of Jimmy with vicinities was transferred. In 1955, the special region of Gwangju was renamed into the special region of Xinjiang. In January 1958, the region of Hessian, and from his lands was disbanded, and also being under jurisdiction of the authorities of Xiamen of lands on the continent, the suburb was created. In August 1958, the county of Tongan passed from the special region of Xinjiang under Xiamen's jurisdiction. Also under Xiamen's jurisdiction, the part of lands of the county Xichang of the special area Lunsi was transferred, on which the Xiamen industrial region was created. In 1970, the county of Tongan returned to structure of the special region of Xinjiang, which since 1971 was renamed into the district of Xinjiang. But in 1973 he passed under Xiamen's jurisdiction again. In 1978, Promishleni district was renamed into the region of Xinglan. In August 1987, the suburb was disbanded, and on his place areas Waidifuk and Jimmy were formed. The county of Tongan was transformed by the resolution of the State Council of the People's Republic of China of November 20, 1996 to the area of city submission. Regions of Kiyuan and Gulingyu were united by the resolution of the State Council of the People's Republic of China of April 26, 2003 in the region of Xiamen. From the region of Tongan, the region of Xiang'an was allocated, the part of the region of Xinglan was attached to the area Jimmy, and the rest of the region of Xinglan became the region of Haikwang. In 2007 in Xiamen there took place the 3 Asia-Pacific Astronomical Olympic Games. On September 3-5, 2017 in Xiamen there took place the 9 BRICS Summit with the invitation of heads of Guinea, Egypt, Mexico, Tajikistan and Thailand. The city of sub-provincial value Xiamen is divided into 6 areas. Economy. Xiamen is large seaport and the most important logistic knot of the southern China. The largest Chinese trade and logistic companies Xiamen C&D, Xiamen IT Group and Xiamen Shangyu Group are based here. In the city, the plants of semiconductors of the United Microelectronics Corporation, Sanyan Optoelectronics and Jason Semiconductor Companies, the bus plants King Long United Automotive Industry, King Long, and Xiamen Golden Dragon Bus, Golden Dragon, the plant of Swire Coca-Cola soft drinks, the terminal on intake of the Indonesian own of the China National Offshore Oil Corporation Company and gas power plant of the Singapore company Pacific Oil and Gas are located. Following the results of 2021, the total amount of foreign trade of Xiamen reached 887.65 billion yuan, that is 27.7% more than in 2020. The volume of foreign trade between Xiamen and the country's BRICS reached 73.78 billion yuan, about 11.6 billion US, having increased by 20.7% year-on-year. The volume of foreign trade with Brazil was 22.65 billion yuan, plus 12.5%. And with Russia minus 22.52 billion yuan, plus 32.3%. Transport. The port of Xiamen enters in top minus 20 the largest container ports of the world. Commodity turnover of Xiamen with the ports of Southeast Asia, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, is important. Xiamen is important logistic node from where trains with the Chinese goods go to Russia, Poland and Germany. In 2020, through local customs along routes China, Europe, there passed in total 273 freight trains, plus 17% in comparison with previous year, which transported over 24.1 thousand containers to, plus 36%, with a gross weight of 142.4 thousand tons, plus 59%. The total cost of the processed goods was 6.22 billion yuan, plus 40%. In the city there is a subway. The high-speed railway line Xiamen, Fuzhou is under construction. Sites. The City Museum of Xiamen, Xiamenshi, is founded in 1983, is open in 1988, since 2007 is in the new building of the Center of Culture and Art, near Xiamen, to the address 95/95. Perfectly organized exposition. The museum has a big collection of monuments of archaeology and history, works of applied art, painting and a calligraphy. The entrance is free, business hours 9 o'clock - 17 o'clock, except Monday and public holidays. Official site of the museum. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.